Hello and welcome again, everyone, back to the Inside Post here on our YouTube channel for all things horse racing. This weekend, we have the fantastic Breeders' Cup out at Santa Anita Park for November 4th out in beautiful California. We will be handicapping this card for you, going through the big Breeders' Cup graded stakes races, kicking it off with race 3. Make sure to go check out our other videos that we have posted on the juvenile and our long shot bets for each of those races as well. Make sure to comment down below your best bet for the weekend or on the Saturday card. Matter of fact, give us a like and subscribe. We are so close to 1,000 subscribers. We thank everyone for reaching out, communicating, interacting with us and watching our videos and giving us those likes or those thumbs up. So keep it up. We have a big weekend, big 2 days of racing, and kind of let's finish it off here with our Saturday card. So we are headed to the mile, the Big Ass Fans Breeder Cup Dirt, kicking this off with the ever so fabulous, the most popular horse probably of the weekend in Cody's Wish. Definitely going to be our top pick in here. I mean, wow, what this horse has been able to do. Can't wait to see what this horse produces in the future, as he is probably going to be shipped off to his breeding career. Looking at it, I mean, 2.5 million. If he does well in here, you're looking at a huge $4 or $5 million horse, and he's probably going to make that or double that in his breeding career. 15 and 10, 10 wins, 4 for 3 in 2023, 5 for 4 in 2022. Just an incredible career. This is what we as horse fans love to see, a 5-year-old horse just dogging it out. Looking at some of these wins that we have been a part of on Cody's Wishes journey, obviously the Vosburg, yeah, that's a given. That Met win over Zandon and White Barrio, definitely huge. The Churchill Downs grade 1 stakes race was amazing, and just a great story that this horse kind of brings to the negative side of some stories that we've kind of been dealing with in horse racing. So definitely Cody's Wish has been a positive outlook, positive spot for the sport, and love to see him in the spot here. It's going to be hard not to single this horse. A lot of these other contenders have kind of dropped out. The unfortunate side, Practical Move, unfortunately. So definitely a good single in your early pick 5 sequences. If you're looking anywhere to beating Zozos, right now may be the only one contender in here that can do it, just based off of some speed figures that really aren't even close to Cody's Wish. Zozos coming in out of the ACAC running a 94 speed figure, and there been bet heavily in his last 3 to 5 starts, but just does not, I don't think, have the speed, the class of Cody's Wish. This horse, Zozos, is going to go out early. So that should be interesting to see. Cody's Wish kind of likes that, and hopefully he can run him down. Skippy Long Snunking will be our long shot play. Probably won't get 12-1 on the horse just because a lot of other contingents have pushed out of here. But kind of coming out of that Charlestown Classic, pretty decent speed figures, a 106 and a 100 last 2 times out. So that's kind of where we're using him. With Cody's Wish, we're probably going to play a big trifecta with these 3, and probably even a bigger exacta, Skippy Long Stocking, and Cody's Wish. Moving right along, race 4. Here we go. It's on the turf, Breeders' Cup turfs. You just never know about these turf races. Going downhill for these fillies and mares. Watch out for the Euro contingents, the European shippers, if you would. Warm Heart looks pretty good for Aiden O'Brien and Ryan Moore. Horse has won its last 2 races coming out of York and Longchamp. I believe it was a French race, Qatar Prix, Vermeil. Great 2 grade 1s out of those last 2 starts. One by a neck and one by a head, so definitely winners of close. Going against a small field for European races and 10 and 8 horses. Looking at some of the similarities, was on soft ground, seems to have that soft to good. So hopefully we kind of get that same turf feel for some of these European horses, as they tend to like to run on that soft to good turf. When we see kind of a firmness to it, we see a lot of speed, but it kind of makes some adjustments to their running styles, and we kind of see some changes, but not much. Usually it makes them a little bit faster, but it kind of changes up their tacticalness as well. On the inside, our second pick in Italian, coming back to the Breeders' and Cup filly and mare. This horse has been in two different Breeders' Cup races, being this one and the Breeders' and Cup fillies and mare last time out. Look what the horse has done. Another incredible 5-year-old. 13, 7, and 5 lifetime, $2 million in earnings. Second last time out in the First Lady, was beat out by Gina Romantica, who was in another race on the later card. Beat out some of the other competition in here as well, and is usually the heavy betting favorite. Probably an Italian, may be the betting choice, betting favorite come post time. I think this will probably be the it for her, as we see more than likely her going to Breeders' Row also. So interesting to see her one last time in here for this big Grade 1 Breeders' Cup race. The 2 seconds are kind of the big question mark. Is she starting to fall off? Is the rail? I don't think the rail will be an issue. I think she kind of likes that inside. She likes to get out early. Just hopefully Joel Rosario has his head on straight and we kind of get that good ride. Third in Spiral is another good horse from the European contingents. This one is John Gosdenone, gets Frankie Dettori aboard. This is a 4-year-old filly out of Frankel with Galileo on top. Another one coming out of 2 big races over across the pond. One a French Deville and the other one being at Newmarket. Both of those Grade 1 stakes races that the horse won. Last time out, the horse was bet pretty heavily. I don't think it was a favorite, but probably the second choice in there. It looks like maybe a 6-5 betting option. Horse has ran against Paddington, who we all know was a great horse for Aidan O'Brien and was sent to the Breeders' Row, like some of these other early contingents. So definitely in Spiral, probably going to get a lot of attention just by looking at some of these past performances of the class that it's ran in. And our big long shot, we're going with Charlie Appleby and William Buick on With the Moonlight. This is a Gold Dolphin owned horse. It was bred by Gold Dolphin. Again, another Frankel Galileo. Has a high primal power for our race here in Santa Anita. Horse has been shipped in, shipped out, and shipped back in several times. Comes out of Newmarket and Epsom, comes into Belmont and Saratoga, picks up a win in 2 seconds, goes to Dubai, picks up 2 wins. In the Cape Verde, a Grade 2, and the Balanchian, another Grade 2. And then comes right back in the Jenny Wiley, finishes second to in Italian. Goes back to Newmarket, back to the pond, finishing 6th there. Just nope, did not fire at all on the soft ground. Comes back to Woodbine in the Taylor Grade 1 with William Buick and finishes second. So definitely a horse that has been shipped back and forth, back and forth. The big thing here is we kind of like that eligibility to improve off that second start of the layoff. Comes out of Newmarket May 7th, comes to Woodbine on October. So kind of getting its legs back under her. Should definitely be a contingent at 20-1. You cannot take your eyes off of these European contingents when they come to the turf. And if they have high prices, there's a pretty good likeliness of them to hit the board. In this field, obviously, like most of them, are loaded with European shippers. Fev Rover is another one that we possibly have considered in here on some tickets, so make sure to check out our blog post below on how we're going to structure these tickets to Dita. Another horse that we love that has done everything right with a almost perfect record, 13-9. So just check that out down below on how we're going to structure some tickets. We may have a high dollar ticket and a low dollar ticket for all of our viewers. Race 5. Another one for the fillies and mare. This one we're on the dirt and we're sprinting, going 7 furlongs in here. Another great betting race. Kind of like our long shot in here, but top pick will be Society. 5-2, Tyler Gaffalione, Steve Asmussen. Comes out of a stakes race last time out. Was the odds-on favorite. Beats out Frank's Rocket. Um, and did it by going to the lead. I think Society is going to go to the lead yet again in here and should be able to get that pace or get that lead fairly easy. Looking back, it did run in the Grade 1 Latroin in the Madison and kind of did not have much. Got beat out by Goodnight Olive in there as well. Ran in the British Cup Distaff last year to Malathat, Clariere, Blue Stripe, and finished a terrible 7th. So, going to try it one more time in the Breeders' Cup. Doesn't have some of the other contingents, but definitely is going to have to run against a pretty good Goodnight Olive on the inside, who is the 6-5 favorite, and rightfully so, 11-8 on her career. Chad Brown and Rad Ortiz getting the connections yet again. Comes off a pretty decent 2-month layoff, no issues there that would be concerned with. You know, the big thing is she's got speed. She's always heavily bet. Obviously, she's going to be heavily bet in here. And she's ran against some of these other contingents of Society and Matarea. So, Goodnight Olive, Society, obviously Matarea is in here as well. Looking at her for our third pick, we like Yaguri. Also, comes out of Keeneland Grade 2 stakes race, a little bit lower on the end of speed. But we're just using this horse as a little bit of a price at 8-1. I think some of these other horses are going to take money, but this one's coming off of 2 wins, beating out Wicked Halo in her past 2. Has ran against Goodnight Olive and Society back in 2020. 23 early on in April. So we'll see if she's kind of picked up some things and has anything to throw at him. Long shot, Kirsten Bosch is interesting. Where John Sadler, Hector Barrios comes out of a Santa Anita Grade 3 stakes race, gets a big class rating for that, a 121, beating Clearly Unhinged, and I believe it's Ida. That's also in here, the number 3 horse. 98 speed figure, not up to par to some of these other horses, but kind of like it. It seems like a horse that maybe has figured it out, improving. Is going to go 7 furlongs. Shouldn't be an issue. The horse has been running a mile, then cut back to 6. So going back to that 7 should not cause any issues. Has been beaten out several times of a horse by the name of $1 Manor. Posted a pretty good workout back October 28th. That was 5 furlongs and 58-3. So definitely one to take note of. Kind of like this long shot that we're probably going to use in some trifectas and definitely exactas. Race 6, Mile on the Turf, the FanDuel's Breeder Cup Mile. This is the Turf Mile for those 3-year-olds and up. Deep field, we're probably going 4, maybe 5 deep in here. Songline, of course, is the Japan horse that has shipped in the Japan bred horse. For Kita Tosaki, this horse has gotten a lot of buzz, has been really good on the turf, a really good contingent for Japan on the turf. Comes out of 2 straight grade 1s, picking up wins out of those 2 grade 1s in Tokyo, and then comes back October 8th in a grade 2 in Japan, going a mile and 1/8, finished the second, was beat out by a nose, was the betting favorite in there. So the horse obviously has the class, definitely has been looking really good on the track in the mornings at Santa Anita, kind of a buzz horse right now. If you go back and watch, I believe it was the Yosoda or the Victoria Mile. The horse looked really good in both of those. But I think it was the Victoria Mile where it beat out Sodashi. Just looked incredible on the track and has kind of carried that form here. However, Casa Creed is also in here and has beaten out Songline, so kind of one to take note of as well. Malge will be our second choice for Orson Murphy. Go Dolphin owned, Go Dolphin bred in here as well. Another one that's kind of been across the pond was at Ascot, York, Newmarket, Dubai, back to Newmarket, and then came to Keeneland. for the grade one mile and an eighth turf. So definitely winner of that um, race. Got a big, I guess, class mark in there of a 121 coming out of that Guinea Stakes. Winner of that as well at Newmarket with a big class rating for that race as well. Now, I think Mulch will probably be the betting favorite in here. I think I could feel it just because of that class rating of those last two races, and the horse has been in the States since October 14th. Has posted a workout at the San Antonio track, which they all have, but since the past performances, they've all kind of worked out within the past week or so. Interesting. 9 for 6, 4 for 4 so far in 2023. So unbeaten as of now in this year. Fourth pick, like I said, Casa Creed. Again, another one that's put an enormous, amazing career together as a 7-year-old. Luis Saez gets him out again for Wilmot. Winner of its last two, the Kelso and the 4-star Dave. Grade 3 and a grade 1. Finished third in the Jalper behind Caravel. Like I said, was over in Dubai back March. Was there March 2022 or February 22 when it was beat out by Songline. Comes back and kind of struggles a little bit, runs into Caravel again. Goes back across in the King Abadazi. Over there, finishes second. A lot of people thought that the horse would come in through the Jalper and win. And like I said, kind of ran into Caravel. So I think the horse is on its way out of racing, and it looks really, really good right now after those two wins. They're definitely in some good shape. Wilmot has this horse primed and ready to go. Long shot, we're going with number 2, Gina Romantica. Tyler G, Chad Brown. As you'll notice, Tyler G is on a lot of our long shot picks. 4-year-old daughter out of Into Mischief. Winner of the First Lady, grade 1, last time out with Tyler G aboard, beating out an Italian who is not in here. Has ran against Consumer Spending and the Fev Rover horse who was in the previous turf race that we just capped. So interesting, 12-1, a good spot. This horse probably won't get much attention on the betting side of things. I think some of the European contingents, Japan contingent, definitely are going to take a lot of money. So we're hoping Gina Romantica kind of floats up a little bit, and let's give a little bit of price towards that 15 to 18 to 1 mark. Another long shot to throw in, trifectas, maybe Exacta would be Exalted. I don't really know. Looking at it, 16-5 should be $1 million earner, but it's not. Four straight wins, and then the second in the Del Mar Mile was beat out by De Jour. Has been bet heavily in all of its races, so 20-1. Might as well take a stab at this. Use this horse on your unders. Who knows? Likes to set mid pack. Maybe it has a little bit of pace to run into, or kind of sneaks in for that third spot. I guess we had Masters of Seas. Our other pick in here, not a third, but one that we're definitely going to use. Charlie Appleby, William Buick, yet again, one that has came in and out of the States, has a prime power of first in the class. This horse will take a lot of money. Second in the Turf Mile at Keeneland, beaten by Up to the Mark, and first in the Wood Mile at Woodbine. So again, the Europeans are going to take a lot of money. That's why this field probably going to go about 4 to 5 deep, just because there is so many heavy contingents. Race 7, we have the Distaff. This is for those fillies and mares for 3-year-olds and up. Top pick, we're going with Idiomatic. Interesting. I don't think the horse is getting much attention right now. Has fired off 4 wins. If you look back, 6 out of 7 so far. So definitely a horse that is in top form right now, coming out of several 5 graded stakes races. The most notable being the Saratoga and Keeneland, the Spinster, winning both of those with Florent Geroux. Basically, the last 4 races that it's won been with Florent Geroux. Posted a good workout back October 28th at the Churchill Downs track. Ships in Like I said, in fabulous, fabulous form. 4-year-old daughter out of Curlin with Smart Strike gets the high prime power for this race. Um, Definitely has been running in some heavy class again. At Saratoga, beat out Secret Oath and Nest. In the Spinster, really not as much class. But again, the horse can find the winner's circle. Second, search results. Another horse that has done really well for her 5-year-old season. Irad and Chad get together on this one yet again. Another horse that has ran against some of the likes in here, such as Clariere, La Vida, Malathat, who is not. But look at the list of grade ones and grade three stakes races that this horse has ran in. Fortunately, it doesn't have the wins in 2023 that it has kind of accumulated in its lifetime. But 2023 definitely has ran against some tough contingents. That last win coming out of Churchill was a grade three, posting a 103 speed figure, which has been like her career best. So career average for her coming into this race as well. Clariere, another one to take note of. If you have the budget, roll that into your pick fives as well. Third, we're going to try with Adar Manor. Interesting coming out of the Del Mar Grade 1 and the Santa Anita Zenyatta. 100 and 101 speed figures are definitely huge on the speed figures there. Beat out Desert Dawn several times. Winner of 5 of her last 6 starts. Basically, she's 5 for 5 in her last 5 starts. 6 for 5 in 2023. Has some speed. Definitely has ran the distance, so definitely one to take consideration of. Long shot, not big price, 8-1. Again, Tyler G as our long shot pick. Coming out of that cotillion for Brennan Walsh, finishing second in there. But if you look outside of that, the Kentucky Oaks, the Acorn, and the Test, all grade ones, this horse has won them. The horse has won them coming from off the pace, pretty far off the pace. So I think the horse is going to set up in here pretty good for that pace run as well. If you want another bigger priced horse, Hoosier Philly was one that we've talked about on our other videos. Pretty good workout last time out is kind of what looks to be the checkbox for us in here. Looking at that past performances, the horse will get blinkers on added today, so that's going to be interesting to see if that does anything for this horse. Like I said, on some of our long shots, we're using these bigger prices in that second or third place, or even a superfecta in this race's case, because there are so many good horses that we're going to use Hoosier Philly in one of our superfectas. All right, race 8.5 mile, another downhill turf for 3-year-olds. Big $4 million race here. Another great betting race on the turf. Top pick, Mostadaf, John Gosden, Jim Crowley, Euro contingent, another Franco Galileo pedigree in here. Just amazing, 16 and 10, almost $3 million in earnings. Comes out of the Prince of Wales and the Judemonte International at Ascot and York. Winners in both of those races. The horse looks phenomenal. Probably will be bet very accordingly coming out of those 2 grade 1 stakes races. And a horse that has the pedigree built for the distance on the turf. Again, the race rating on the last 2 were definitely the class of the field, definitely the highest of the class of some of these other contingents. Looks to be in great form. Anytime we go over a mile, European contingents definitely have to be taking into consideration. They just know how to go longer, and it's kind of almost like their specialty. Second, we're going with Augusta Roden or August Roden for Aiden O'Brien, Ryan Moore. Another one is coming out of a big grade 1 stakes race with a huge class rating or race rating. This one was at Leopardstown in Ireland. Winner of that one for those connections. This one was bred by Coolmore Deep Impact, which is a Japan horse, with Sunday Silence. 9-6 lifetime, and another one that has almost reached $3 million. Ryan Moore gets the mount on this horse again. He has won, 5 times, I believe, looking for that 6th win on this horse. That seems to be another European contingent um, for this long turf race. Third pick, King of Steel. Yes, yet again, another Euro, a big gray one here for Frankie Dettori and Roger Varian. One last time out at Ascot. Huge class rating yet again for that race. Has ran in some huge races that have big class ratings on the past performances. This one, the Quipco Champions Grade 1 Stakes race, finished first in there. If you go back 2 races, again, this horse was at Leopardstown, was beaten out by August Rodin in there, finishing 4th just outside the money. So has run against August Rodin several times, finished 2nd back at the Betfred Derby and Grade 1 back in June, and again finished 7th at the Futurity Trophy, a Grade 1 stakes race in Doncaster. So those two are definitely familiar with each other. So interesting to see them coming in here again to maybe head off once more. Up to the mark, Todd Pletcher, Rad Ortiz. This is Rapoli's owned horse. Gets a big prime power of 179 for an American contingent. Winner of the Turf Mile at Keeneland, winner of the Manhattan Grade 1 at Belmont, winner of the Turf Classic at Churchill Downs, and 3rd in the Maker's Mark. So 3 straight wins for Up to the Mark. Beat out Masters of the Sea, who was just in the race previously. 11-6 lifetime, 1.8 in earnings, big 110 speed figure in that Manhattan. If America has a horse, this is it that could compete with some of these European contingents. However, not raced on a 1.5 miles, so interesting to see what that's going to do for this horse, but definitely has the class, has the pedigree, has the speed, looks to be one that's going to come from way off the pace. I believe is what I read will most likely do. That's what the horse has been doing, so we'll see if Irad kind of keeps it a little closer and makes a big run for against these European contingents. Long shot, Bolshoi Ballet, number 4 at 15-1. John Velasquez for Hayden O'Brien. We like this one as our long shot pick. The horse kind of started off bouncing back and forth from Europe to the States. Was recently at Saratoga. This was in 2021 for a pretty good stay. Did not do much. Ships back home basically to Great Britain, Ireland. Again, 3rd, 2nd, still kind of trying to figure things out. And then comes back in Saratoga in the summer. Goes a 1.5 miles on a yielding turf course, the big Sword Dancer, big Grade 1 stakes race, and finishes first. Horse set close to the pace. Gets Johnny V aboard for the first time. And look what he does. He passes Soldier Rising and wins pretty impressively at 4.5 lengths over Soldier Rising and some of the other contingents. There was, I think it was a short field, 6 or 7 horses in there, but it did it pretty impressively. So it does come back or stays here since August. So that's interesting. Does come off a pretty good layoff. So that's kind of not necessarily anything to be concerned about, but I think the horse has been well rested. Obviously, it's going to continue the workouts with Aiden O'Brien, gets Johnny V aboard so that he has that familiarity with this horse. And again, 2023, the horse has done fairly well. It's 5-1 and 1-2. It's been out of the money once so far this year, and that was in a big Grade 1 stakes race at Ascot. So hopefully that Sword Dancer kind of got Bolshoi Ballet's head on straight. It's just going to be hard to beat some of these other European contingents that are in here. And race 9. Yes, it's race 9. It's weird. It's not the last race on the card. We have the Breeders' Cup Classic, the big classic race for 3-year-olds and up for $6 million. Fortunately, we have the scratch out of Arcangelo, so unfortunate. Top pick now looks to be White Barrio. Interesting enough, I think this is probably a wide open race. White Barrio looks obviously the better horse coming in out of the Whitney. Um, Obviously, not running against Cody's Wish. Running in that mile and eighth in the Whitney kind of sets this horse up to probably be favored in here. Has beat out Zandon in the past two races, 107, 106. So the speed figures keep improving or keep getting better or staying consistent. That's always a check. And has a big workout on the Santa Anita track back on October 27th. So kind of a buzz horse based off of its workouts. Kind of people were, I guess, questioning whether the horse was uh, training right or it took some days off. So again, I think the horse is fine. We'll see as we get closer here. We're Thursday, so we're still kind of 2 days out of what Whitebaro could be capable of. Ushba Tesoro is going to be our second pick. I know I get slack all the time for picking the Japan contingents. I was kind of big up on Derma Sotogake and the Derby, finishing seventh. Hey, it's going to happen sooner or later. Japan or a European horse will win one of our American big races, whether it's the Breeders' Cup or Kentucky Derby. It's only a matter of time. Ushba Tesoro obviously looks really good. The horse has raced 30 times as a 6-year-old. Incredible. And has 10 wins. What's been the most impressive? Probably the past 2 years. In 2022, went 8 for 4. And then in 2023, wow, the horse has just taken off. 3 straight wins. Has really only raced, I guess, 3 times in 2023. When you look at the 2022 stat line, the horse just loaded up from September to December, September to March. The horse just raced a ton. Coming out of several Grade 1 stakes races in Japan, coming out of that big Dubai, the Maidan at UAE World Cup, and there beat out Algiers, Emblem Bro, Derma Sotogake, I believe, was in that race as well. And I think we all expected this horse in the Derby at the time or when it was eligible. So interesting to see this one coming in for the Breeders' Cup Classic. Interesting enough that we see Derma Sotogake also coming in. I think this one has been talked about as being the better of the two. So this could be the year we see a European or Japan horse win the Breeders' Cup Classic. Arabian Night, third. I know it's weird that the horse is 3-1 and is the morning line favorite. Very lightly raced. The biggest win is probably the Pacific Classic, beating Go Rocket Ride and I believe Slow Down Andy, going 1.25 miles at Del Mar. Bob Baffert, Flavion Pratt. Flavion gets back on this horse instead of Johnny V. Pretty good workout October 30th. So the horse has been putting in the works. Looks pretty good. Has the speed. Has the early running style. Yada yada. But it's Bob Baffert and it's on the West Coast. So who knows? Interesting speed, early speed. Saudi Crown is probably going to be our third switch 'em, whatever. With Arabian Night, Saudi Crown is interesting now that Arcangelo is out. We obviously had to pick up another horse. Saudi Crown will be it. Brad Cox for Giroux, winner of the Pennsylvania Derby Grade 1. The Jim Dandy finished second in their Grade 2. 108, 106 speed figures. The speed figures have been getting better. The horse is 2 races shy of being 5 for 5. Beat out by a nose by Fort Bragg. Beat out by a nose by Forte. Beat out Angel of Empire, however, in that Jim Dandy. So there's no Forte, no Fort Bragg. The horse is still fresh, super young. One that seems to be improving. As you can see, the speed figures seem to be getting better and better. Interesting. The horse did not have any works before this week at Santa Anita, so I think that's not an issue. The speed is there. The early speed is definitely there, and I think this one will have contingent on who's going to go to the speed with Arabian Night. You're looking at those last two races at Saratoga Parks was a slop track. So for the horse to finish second and win on those off tracks definitely shows that the horse is in good form right now, and interesting coming into this race. And another price play, Zandon. This horse hits the board. If you want to bet a horse to finish second or third, Zandon is the one. Chad Brown puts Frankie on this horse, so Frankie has a pretty good shot of hitting the board at second or third with Zandon. Hopefully, he kind of gets ignored with some of these other horses, and his price floats up a little bit. 12-1 is okay for a second place horse, but we would rather it be 15, maybe 18-1 come gate. All right. So, like I said, the Breeders' Cup Classic is not the last race. We still have two more. We have the short sprint turf for 3-year-olds. The Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint in here for $1 million. Again, we get Caravel back. Let's see what the horse is up against. Top pick, taking a shot. Going with Arzak. 6-1. Luis Saez, Michael Trombada. Winner last time out in that Woodford Grade 2. Did come out of 3 optional claiming races of 80K, and then goes into the Woodford, which probably did not have much class. I think Beer Can Man was the only one that horse beat out, and it was at some big odds. Interesting, Luis Saez gets aboard. He's been on this horse once. I'm going to take a shot here. I know this one's probably out of depth, but we have to have one price horse somewhere on the board, and Arzak looks to be getting better. Hopefully this horse is kind of improving out of those optional claiming races. Second, Living the Dream. Adam West, Sean Kerrane, another European shipper, comes out of the Grade 1 Coolmore. This was not at Ascot. This was just at York back in August. Winner of that at a big price. Then ships in for that Woodford. And like I said, finishing fourth to Arzak and Beer Can Man. 94 speed figure there. So going to get its second go at it here in the States, and I think could be interesting to see if this horse kind of goes back to the form that it had when it was based back at home. So interesting to see. This one should be pointed back to the positive side. Third, gotta love it. Caravel, gonna use her. Tyler G again for Brad Cox. I mean, could be on its way out. 25-15, 98 speed, career best speed figure. Second in the Franklin Grade 2. And then you look back, the Jopper finishing first. Goes to a stakes race at Churchill, finishing first. The Shakertown, big win there. The Breeders' Cup Turf Sprint, big win there. And the Franklin, a Grade 3 Franklin yet again, and won that. So we'll see what can happen. Past 2 times was beat out by 2 other contingents in here in Nobles and Tony Ann. I just think, this is a big spot for Caravel. The connections want to see her do good one more time. And I think she's definitely set up in here to do that. Will she go to the lead? I think that's kind of probably going to be the game plan. She's missed the lead the past 2 starts, and then that's kind of been her downfall, and she gets beat. I just don't think she's going to be able to set off of it. Let's wire the field in here and get them out early. Long shot play is the Japan contingent, and Jasper Crone. Yuga Kawada is the jockey on this one. This one is out of Frosted and Tappet. Pretty short 90K purchase price for this horse. 15-6 lifetime, over $1 million earned. All done at Japan racetracks. Has never shipped over. So always kind of sneaky to watch these Japan contingents when they come over, because you never know what we're going to get. But definitely some graded stakes races that this horse has came out of. If you look, the horse has been 12-1, 27-1 when it's won. Was heavy bet favorite and won, and then was a huge price of 53-1 and finishes second in a big handicap stakes race going 7 furlongs. So the length, the distance of the track should be fine. It's just, what are we going to get shipping in for some of these contingents. I like that Sprinter Stakes. The horse comes out of it, finishes fourth in there, but it's not running against 16 to 18 horses like it's used to. I think there's only 12, maybe 13 horses that are going to be entered in here. So definitely not going to have as much traffic. So we shall see. Kind of love the pedigree. Frosted, Fancy Kitten, Kitten's Joy. This one was bred by Godolphin again. So awesome on the pedigree side of it. Let's try to steal one at 12 to 1. This horse probably won't take much money, so it should float to possibly 15 to 1 or even higher. And the finale, 6 furlong sprint. The Qatar Racing's Breeder Cup Sprint. Huge race in here again. Holy cow, are we loaded with some really good horses. I mean, you have Elite Power, Speedboat Beach, and Gunite all going up against Dr. Shovel. Just an incredible race. Elite Power is going to be our top pick. Wilmot sticks with Irad. This one's own Judemont Farms. Again, this Curlin and Smart Strikes 5-year-old. Just incredible what this horse has been able to do. 12-8, almost $3 million in earnings. Beat out by Gunite last time out in the Forego. I know that was an amazing race. But other than that, after or before that, the horse just beat the drums off of everyone. Beat out Hoist the Gold, CZ Rocket, Gunite 2 times, and then comes back in here to run against that contingent yet again. The 102, 108, 103, just hundreds speed figures. The horse goes over to the King Abadazi race across the seas and wins that one with Frankie Dettori aboard, beating out Gunite. So the horse has done it all. Has been posting some monster workouts. The speed is there. The class is there. This horse obviously is right at 9 to 5 as the perfect morning line contingent. Speedboat Beach, Bob Baffert, Mike Smith. Interesting that Mike Smith gets the mount on this one. This one was beat out by Dr. Shovel last time out, but however, came off of a huge, almost 1 year layoff since we had seen Speedboat Beach. Before the layoff, the horse was beaten in the Breeders' Cup Juvenile Turf. Finished 9th in there. So interesting to see what we get when this horse comes back. Was that Delmar, the Delmar Mile, I believe it was a grade 3. Won that and then kind of hung it up for almost a year. Comes back in that Saratoga Sprint, which was a grade 2, finishing second off the bench. This horse has to improve. I mean, there's absolute every sign points to Speedboat Beach improving, and obviously for the likes of Elite Power, Gunite, and again Dr. Shovel, gonna have to improve to that level or that capability. It is the 3-year-old, so kind of the younger horse of some of these other ones, especially Elite Power, who's a 5-year-old. So definitely one to watch. We're probably going to get that 3 to 1, 2 to 1 on Speedboat Beach. We're going to take a jab here with the Chosen Vron. Hector Barrios for Eric Krujak. Winner of that Bing Crosby. And winner of several other races. As you can see, there's about 8 other races, all stakes races. However, the Chosen Vron has won 17 and 13 lifetime. Just an incredible career for this 5-year-old. Going at it one more time. Has not ran to some of the class. It's ran against Dr. Shovel, beat it in that Bing Crosby. So coming off a pretty decent layoff of about 3 months. Has been working out. The numbers are pretty adequate on some of the workouts that this horse has posted. So watch out for this one. Is kind of like a sneaky pick at 5 to 1. Long shot, we're going to use it again. Hoist the Gold. We used this horse in the Met and got destroyed. Used it in the Churchill Downs Grade 1 on Derby weekend. He got beat out by Cody's Wish by a nose. Or not really a nose, but ran second to Cody's Wish. We're going to try it again, coming out of that grade 2 Phoenix with a win and a career best 104 speed figure. There's something there. Just going to have to take a huge step forward to run with some of these other horses. Again, 12 to 1. We're not going to see it. It's probably going to be a little bit higher, happily higher. So that's good for the betting option in here of possibly an exacta trifecta for Hoist the Gold. Again, Dr. Shovel does step in. For Mark Glatt and Juan Hernandez, deep tickets, we're probably leaving him off. Could come back and burn us, but I think Elite Power is in Speedboat Beach is the top 2 in here, based off of their workouts and what they've been able to do the past time out. So there it is. There is the Big Breeders' Cup card for Saturday. Um, it took a lot, but we finally made it through. There's our best bets. Next up, contenders, second or third choices, sometimes fourth choices, and our long shot plays for each of those races. So, like I said, make sure to look down below. Click that link for the blog post of all the betting options that we give you for the Saturday card at Santa Anita. We hope you enjoy the video, and we hope you win big watching our videos or playing some of our wagering tips. Let us know down below if you do. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Thanks for watching.